Sentire Media.
Welcome to the Stop Italian Sounding podcast, uncovering authentic Italian food. I'm your host, Robert Campana, and join me as we delve into the rich heritage of genuine Italian food, exploring its legends, history, and traditions. Through important tips and insightful interviews with industry professionals, you'll gain a deeper understanding of authentic Italian food. Welcome back, everyone, to the Stop Italian Sounding show, uncovering authentic Italian food, bringing you small bites of Italian food culture. So, as the world is watching the Sanremo Music Festival right now, I wanted to, of course, focus on food because that's what I talk about in this podcast. In the city of Sanremo, I want to take you behind the stage, beyond the music, in order to explore some of the culinary traditions in and around this beautiful city, which has become known as a city of music for the Sanremo Music Festival, which is located in Liguria, northern Italy, basically on the border between Italy and France. So we're talking about things like seafood, all the way to different street foods, to sweet treats. Sanremo's dishes, of course, like all dishes throughout the Italian peninsula, tell a story of its territory. In this case, the sea, the hills, and obviously the people who live there and have been living there for many centuries. So, like I just said, Sanremo is in northern Italy, part of Liguria. It is on the Italian Riviera, which is a coastal region famous for pesto, famous for olives, citrus fruits. And the cuisine is deeply tied, of course, to Mediterranean diet. Fresh everything, basically. Fresh vegetables, local herbs, seafood, olive oil, wine. Of course, things that have to do with its identity. So historically, Sanremo thrived as a fishing town and flower growing center, believe it or not, which shaped its food. Fish and shellfish were central to the diet, along with grains, legumes, which are on the top of my list. I love legumes, and vegetables, preserved vegetables, let's just say. And even sweets have roots in local agriculture. Things including lemons, almonds, and even olive oil all appear in pastries and sweets in and around this area. So here are a few traditional dishes that you could find in and around the city of Sanremo. I have to start with the Trofie al Pesto because you go to that area and the first thing you think of is pesto, the classic Ligurian pasta, hand-rolled into small little twists, let's just say, coated in the delicious fresh pesto. And sometimes served with potatoes and even green beans, which I have to say, I've never had them with the green beans before, but I would definitely be on my list to try. Very simple dish, a dish that people, when I say Liguria, automatically associate the Trofie al Pesto. That's the first thing. The second thing I want to discuss is a farinata. So the farinata is a savory chickpea flatbread. I happen to love chickpeas, and this is something I really, really like. Baked in olive oil, because over there you could find olive oil all over the place. Crispy, especially on the edges, which is the best part. Soft in the inside, and a really good street food, not only for locals, but of course for anybody who visits that area. So when you visit different places in Italy, in this case Sanremo, don't go for simple things. Go for traditional foods. Next, I want to talk about pesce all'acqua pazza, and I like this because it's like the crazy water fish, which is a light poached fish dish cooked with tomatoes, cooked with olive oil, cooked with garlic, white wine, and of course reflects the simplicity, which is an underlying factor in all dishes around Italy. Next, we have the pan bagnato, which is a traditional Ligurian bread salad made with stale bread, so we don't throw away anything. And that is another underlying factor throughout all Italian dishes in Italy. So it's made with stale bread, tomatoes, olives, onions, even some tuna. And it's like a rustic way to make every ingredient count, to make every ingredient really stand out when put together in this great example of cucina povera. So something that really characterizes Sanremo is called the Sardenaira, sometimes called the pizza of Sanremo, which is basically a flatbread topped with anchovies, topped with tomatoes, olives, capers. And unlike traditional pizza, if you think of regular pizza, this has no cheese. It's olive oil rich because they produce a lot of olive oil in the region of Liguria. It's simple. It's a dish deeply tied to the city's fishing heritage, especially with the anchovies, and 100% a must try if you're there for the festival, but if you're there for other reasons as well. If you really want something authentic, you have to try the Sardenaira. And next we have a bunch of sweets from Sanremo too. So, typical dolci sanremesi. And the city is famous for things like amaretti or savoiardi, often flavored with almonds, citrus, and local wines. Wine never escapes any types of sweets. And these treats are enjoyed during, of course, the Festival di Sanremo, and obviously year round. So the festival, going back to the musical aspect of this city, a music festival that is followed all around Italy, perhaps the most important music festival, not just in Italy, obviously, but in all of Europe, brings visitors from all of Italy to this area, and seafood dishes often take center stage. Where restaurants serve fresh anchovies, mussels, mixed seafood platters reflecting both local tradition and their real Sanremo hospitality, because you go to any city in Italy and they have the typical hospitality that they're known for. And the Ligurian cuisine celebrates the natural flavors of the sea. So often the festival menus remain very authentic and regional, with no, let's just say, typical Italian dishes that one would find, kind of basic dishes. They in this area, they really remain authentic to their cuisine, which is a great thing. And Sanremo's food really shows how geography, climate, history, and other territorial aspects shape regional cuisine. Because the sea provides fresh fish, the hills provide olive oil and herbs, and centuries of simple and rustic cooking that have created dishes that are balanced, that are healthy, that are flavorful, that are typical of that area. So even in the glamour and the glitz, let's just say, of the Sanremo Music Festival, the essence of Sanremo's cuisine remains humble and, of course, very authentic, just like the music itself, of course. So if you are there, try these things that I just mentioned in this episode, because everything is rooted in local culture and celebrated by the entire world. So while you enjoy the music, hopefully you have your favorite song picked out at this point, because we are nearing the end of the Sanremo Music Festival. Take a moment to imagine also the flavors behind the city. The fresh basil, the olive oil, the chickpeas, the anchovies, the Sardenaira, the sweet almond pastry. Sanremo isn't just Italy's stage for music, it's a stage for culinary heritage. And it's a traditional foods where every bit is iconic, just as the songs, I would venture to say. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the stories of authentic Italian cuisine. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast for more insights and interviews. Also, feel free to reach out with your thoughts or questions on our social media channels at Stop Italian Sounding or on our website, stopitasounding.com. Grazie a tutti e alla prossima.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.